I need you to go ahead and explain these sanctions that Chelsea are under.
Oh man,
what is happening here, and explain why, and like what the intent is here.
I guess I don't fully understand. I just know what's his connection with Putin? I just know like Putin endorsed him, or he endorsed Putin or something.
So it's been known for a few decades that Russia's economy is like slightly propped up by like families of like oligarchs, like
okay,
somebody's gas, somebody's oil, somebody's tech, somebody's salt.
There's rich Russians everywhere.
Right, so, but there's billionaires, like billionaires, and Roman Abramovich was one of those guys, and he was close to Putin, and I can't remember what his was. I don't know if his was oil. I think his was like tech or like whatever, but
I thought he was oil.
Maybe he is oil. I'm not sure.
I think he is oil.
I kind of hate Chelsea to the point where I don't give a fuck about anything about them.
Who cares, really?
But he is kind of one of the reasons for Putin's rise, basically, because Putin rose like with the influence of those oligarchs. So,
yeah, I mean, but basically then the Prem, with everything going down with Russia, Ukraine, like I guess not even the Prem, England in themselves, because like every club in the Prem is like technically like an English like entity,
right?
And so ultimately, like, you can have owners of clubs, but really they own the club because they're like a cultural piece of the land. But so basically what Roman Abramovich thought, he was being slick, and he like transferred stewardship of the club to so whatever the hell that means. It definitely doesn't mean that he gave up all his shares in the club, because he's still like the owner. So that was going to be a little get around to avoid getting his assets seized by the country. And so basically they said, oh, you're going to do that? Well, we're going to do this. And then they just froze the whole club, basically. So essentially, so they can't do anything that'll make Roman Abramovich any money. So they can't sell any tickets. Only season ticket holders can go, because they've already paid for all of it, I guess. They can't sell any merch. So you can't get that Lukaku Chelsea jersey that you really want.
So the club
said nobody.
The fans can't prop up the club by like buying record-breaking amounts.
All their sponsors want to leave. So, bro, they're gonna be flying economy class. Bruh. They're not gonna have any team suites.
They're in Europe, aren't they?
They gotta go. Where do they have to go? Fuck, I tweeted something about it earlier this week, but I was making a joke about it. I was like, how are they gonna get there, bro? Like, they gotta take a bus or something. I don't know. They gotta cross an ocean somehow. That's pricey. They're not taking no private jet. That's for damn sure. So,
bro, I'm just gonna have to drive to every away game in the league. If they still in the League Cup, they're gonna have to get the youth
they
coach.
Can't buy any players, like obvious one.
Oh yeah.
So with that, obviously that's gonna trouble the players that are there, because they know they're gonna be stuck with
they want to relinquish control of the club.
So I mean, a lot of players are gonna want to leave now, right? I think if Arsenal are smart, they come knocking on the door, be like, hey, we'll take this person out of your hands.
Get them back for everything that they ever did,
because they're gonna be like, let me out of this damn club. Like, if you guys can't figure your shit out,
get a lot of
I don't want to leave London. I like living in London. All that scheming, but
but
I think if somebody's really smart, they go for Tuchel. I think if United's really smart, they go for Tuchel.
Okay, so what is
imagine that? Bro.
Okay, so all I'll say is I understand that, and like, I'm glad the sharks are circling. Pick off another shark. That's fine, right? That's great. That's all fine and dandy. One thing I think Chelsea, they have worked their way, I don't want to say to history, but I think they've the type of club that they are, they're definitely a defiant club, and like they have a bond with their fans that I think is it's kind of deep for such a big club now.
Save the bridge.
I mean, it's hilarious.
Yo, I watched the Robbie clip. I was crying. I was crying, dog.
Bro, they deserve everything that's coming to them.
X is up to save the bridge.
But all I'll say on the other side of things is I can see Chelsea have like millions of fans worldwide, right? But the thing is, I can see that fandom kind of like hardening down, like screw it. Not, how do I say this? Like like solidifying.
No, they could use that though.
Like I can see Chelsea like kind of pivoting because of that, and like kind of
they're like because they're plastic, bro. They're plastic fans.
Let's see,
because so many of them are
Let's see, because I feel like their players have I feel like a lot of their players stay there because they feel like they have a bond with the club. I feel like what Tuchel is at least saying right now. It seems.
I think they have a bond with their paycheck. That's I think it is.
That's true. I mean, true. I'm guessing.
Let me land that point advocate. Though, because I just think there's a lot of. I know a lot of like real Chelsea fans. They're fucking everywhere.
Yeah,
in
that's
America.
true. They actually are
everywhere.
Manchester City, take notes.
Like literally, like Chelsea's probably the most popular team. I feel like over like Man United's probably second. Yeah. Out of like just people I know,
just random folks.
People, yeah. But I know a lot of good Chelsea fans. I know a lot of bad Chelsea fans, and they just follow it because like Christian Pulisic is on the team, and so that's their EPL team. And like, there's a lot of fake Chelsea fans, and I hope this kind of like they just compress it down, like break it all up, and like only the like real ones will.
Because I feel like maybe
that's some Arsenal shit, bro. Like I'm kind of glad like Arsenal put me through this pain, bro. Like I feel a stronger connection with the club because of it, and I feel like people like you don't meet many Arsenal fans these days.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, you're an Arsenal fan, oh, they suck, haha, like shit like that. If you meet an Arsenal fan, they love Arsenal, bro. Like it's their fucking life because they've been through hell and they're still around. Chelsea needs a little bit of that. City needs a little bit of that.
I think Chelsea, if they're smart, I don't know. They have such a good like structure. Like their front offices has a great structure. Their team, their recruitment. I feel like Roman Abramovich has. It's kind of has turned into his passion, you know, like where he's given so much money.
He definitely loves the club,
and I feel like he's kind of engendered that same love in the fans, and it's crazy because even if Chelsea do go through a lean period, if they can get through it, Abramovich has been kind of smart because he has secured a few European Cups. He has secured Premier League trophies. He has secured some of the best players in the world, you know?
Mm-hmm.
He's turned that blue into a worldwide phenomenon, and it's like, I can see somebody else wealthy as fuck loving Chelsea because they're like, yo, that's the rich boys club. I love it. Like they kind of. I know a kid whose dad is like a million, has been making millions in Kuwait, in China, like everywhere. This kid was born and had like 150K in his bank, and he's like, bro, I've been Chelsea since the day I was born, dog. This nigga's Chinese, bro. He's like, dog, the only thing I could ever be in my life was Chelsea. Like, he's like, bro.
Good for him.
And he didn't even be like, oh, we make too much money. Like, I said that. Like, oh, yeah, y'all make too much money. It couldn't be anything else. But, like, it's dead ass in his blood. Like, his dad is Chelsea. Like, his uncles are Chelsea. And there's actually a fan base there.
Good for him. No, that's the thing too, though, is I don't know. There was this huge debate on the kickoff with Rory and True Geordie, and True Geordie was basically saying like it's more likely than not that you'll get bought by somebody who's not as ambitious as Roman Abramovich, and Rory was saying it's more likely that'll happen versus somebody like richer and like more ambitious than right.
Yeah.
In terms of like the billionaires in the world that can afford it, like who are the ones that are actually willing to like go crazy, like. And like Rory's getting all defensive, and George's like, "What do you mean?" Like, I mean, it's kind of facts though. And I'm really hoping that like an American owner comes in and they go, "Oh, you know what? There's a fan base there. There's money to be made," and they just take over that bitch, and then Arsenal ride up to third place, and we're cruising in the sunset.
That's crazy.
And we're peaking at the right time.
I'm putting myself in Chelsea's shoes. That would be horrible. I could, but you know,
Chelsea had it good. Right. They're about to have it all taken away, bro.
You're right. I am being too romantic. I don't think it's likely that the next owner is going to be as
I don't know how many like
Chelsea as before
royal Arab family members can still. Well, I don't know how many more can still even like because you can't own like multiple teams and shit. So like
yeah,
I don't know how many actual buyers there are left in that kind of market
probably
for the Premier League specifically, and a lot of money in the Prem is Russian money too. Like there's a lot of Russian money in the Prem.
Well, remember something that we were talking about before was if UEFA wanted to actually do something about Russia, they wouldn't just like virtue signal. But it turns out like a couple of days after that, they cut ties with Gazprom, which is like the Russian state-backed oil company that sponsors so much of the Champions League, and Schalke even like. That was their main sponsor for a decade at least. and even they got rid of them. And that's like, okay, so like this, the only reason this shit happens is one, through money, or two, through like government interference. And so now it's kind of interesting because Chelsea are kind of like victims of, one, they had that whole child transfer ban and all that stuff, but then now they're kind of going through this where they're now literally like a political pawn. They're like a wartime weapon, basically. And it's strange. It's interesting. They deserve everything that's coming to them, and I have no sympathy.
Yeah, none. I got none. I really.
Everything.
This is really
bro,
like everything. I've been living in bliss this last week.
They're stuck in limbo, and you know what's exciting? Summertime. That's what's really exciting. Antonio Rudiger is gone. Andres Christensen is gone. Who else's contract is up? Mendy? No. They have somebody.
There was a big one. I'm trying to remember.
Somebody big.
I feel like it was just their whole back line.
Azpilicueta?
Did you not say him?
No.
Yeah, I heard he was going to Barca last year.
Oh, really? I think Christensen should go to Barca.
Christensen, I heard, is gone. Yeah, Rudiger's gone. Rudiger might go to Madrid.
That's interesting, man. Because that's Chelsea. So all them players are making a lot of money, and not all them players are going to stay.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what's crazy? It almost feels like this is, if this holds through the summer, then it's going to feel like, it's almost going to be like a relegation.
You know what's crazy? It will be, yeah. No, this will bury them. It's interesting because, like,
good.
Yeah, I don't know if he can, like, or no, I'm confused. I'm trying to think about it now. But basically, the way that Roman Abramovich structured the club too is like all his investments were done in like a loan format. Yep. So at any point, he could just pull that loan and completely like dissolve Chelsea. Not that he's gonna do that. He loves the club too much, but it becomes this sticky situation of like, how does he make his money back by selling this club when it's not really it's not going to be a desirable asset?
He's going to have stipulations. That's the thing. That is the thing.
If it continues like this,
the government wants the club. The government wants to reclaim possession of the club. It seems like that, right? They want him to relinquish all control of it. And what's crazy is I can see that. Like, they kind of moved at the perfect time, because if he was going to sell it, he would have had stipulations. He probably would have found somebody immediately to try and sell it to. I mean, he's been branching networking for years. He's been getting different passports for years. He knows people. He's been getting into different types of businesses for a minute. He could set the stipulation, yo, you got to be worth at least this much. You got to be willing to spend at least this much. You could be a fucking corporation. You could be a consortium. I don't give a fuck what you are, but you have to do this.
But once you transfer the club, like, it's out of that.
But you can't. Now he can't. So it's kind of like...
Well, I think he can sell the club. I think that's the one thing.
What, turn it insolvent?
No, he can sell it, but
no, I think he wants,
like, he wanted like $3 billion or something, and somebody was like, no, I'll give you like 1.5, and then he's like, oh, I want like 2, and then it's just like, I don't think he's gonna get what he wants, so it's gonna be this standoff of like, because they're gonna let him, they're like, sell the club, like, sell it immediately, and he's gonna be in this, I need to make some sort of value back. At the same time, they're just like bleeding all the value out.
Their money, their government is like trying to like fix hell of people. Like, whoever he might try and talk to, they're trying to either get in with them, or they're trying to like send people up. You feel me?
Hey, shout out to England for sorting that out, man. This is great entertainment. This is great entertainment. I'm loving it.
This is crazy.